A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Today's editorial is an important editorial because it deals with environment and development. It is actually a conundrum. Environment is important, so is development. And this is an important topic because something like this you may get in the exam. This conundrum will continue for another 2 or 3 decades. On the one hand, environment is important. On the other hand, at the same level, development is important. And what is the impact of this particular situation? It is related to what exactly happened in Sikkim. It also touches what happened in Kerala. You all know what happened, Wayanad, landslides. And editorial takes a particular stand and tells what has to be done, how to balance environment and development. Let us start the session with the question, what is enrichment? As usual, you improve your comprehension, and this is important. Good morning to all of you. This is important because it deals on the one hand with the environment, on the other hand with development. Vocabulary, some important words are there: grammar consolidation, effective English, mini mocks, vocabulary consolidation. Let us start with editorial vocabulary, effective vocabulary, very important. Many exam topics depend on to what extent you are good at vocab. Vocabulary is very important, especially when it comes to mains exam. The very first word is limp back. Actually, the word limp, it goes with, you have to know the word lame. Lame person. A person in the past we would say physically handicapped, now we say physically challenged. Someone who cannot walk properly. We use the word lame. Lame has many meanings. Sometimes we say someone gives a silly reason for coming late. We say don't give lame excuses. That's a different meaning altogether. Coming to the word lame person, sometimes you see a person, the person does not walk properly. Then we ask a question, why are you limping? What is the word we say? When someone does not walk because he got hurt or he met with an accident, he cannot walk properly, we say, why are you limping? But here, limp back means after a particular negative incident. It could be a natural disaster, it could be something like violent event, normalcy. That time, the city or the country comes back to normalcy. That time we say limp back. An important phrasal verb meaning to return slowly and with a difficulty, not smooth transition, with a difficulty, often often after being damaged or weakened. In a nutshell, it means to return to normalcy, to return slowly and with difficulty, often after being damaged or weakened. Look at the example. After the accident, the old car managed to limp back to the garage. Generally, it does not go with a car limping back to the garage. It goes with persons, a country, a city. Limp back means come back to normalcy. Struggle back, hobble back, important expression. Stagger back, important expression. Antonyms, sprint back, rush back. Devastating, we have got many a time. Devastate, devastation, devastating. You should know all the word forms. What does it mean? Part of speech, adjective, it goes with words like effect, impact, devastating impact, causing severe shock, distress, or destruction, highly damaging or destructive. Highly damaging or destructive on a large scale, then we say devastating impact. The hurricane, usually we use this word with natural disasters, especially hurricane, ravage also you can say, very good, Shreya. Hurricane, cyclone, earthquake, we use natural disasters. The hurricane had a devastating effect on the coastal towns. Destructive, catastrophic, important word. Ruin, from that you get ruinous. Antonyms, beneficial, constructive, healing, simple words. Assault has two different meanings. Actually, assault goes with persons. One person attacks another person physically, then we say assault. He has been assaulted, she has been assaulted. But in the context of the editorial, This goes with assault from the nature. Nature assaulting a particular place. That's a new combination you have to learn. Part of speech, a noun. It can also be a verb. As a verb, it's a regular verb. Assault, assaulted, assaulted. Look at the meaning. A violent attack or a strong, forceful action or movement against someone or something. Violent attack, we say assault. And someone is killed, an important person, we use word assassination. That's a different word, though you have to recollect. Look at the example. The city faced an assault from both land and sea during the war. Assault from not a person, from the land and from the sea. From the land in the form of landslides, from the sea in the form of tidal waves or tsunamis. Synonyms: attack, offensive, onslaught. Onslaught, an important word. Antonyms: defense, protection, guard. Deluge. I have given this word many a time. First, you have to know the word floods, a common word, simple word. Then you have to know a better word, inundation. Inundation also means floods. Deluge. This also means the same. But one more word you guys have to know. I'm sure some of you know. Submerge. Whenever there are floods or deluge or inundation, that particular place, things get submerged. A severe flood or an overwhelming rush or amount of something. Deluge of gadgets. You can use in that context as well. The sudden deluge of rain flooded the streets within minutes. We experience this whenever we nowadays we are talking about urban floods. Urban floods, cities like Hyderabad, Bombay, Chennai, Bangalore, we all experience urban floods. And within no time, heavy rain for an hour, you see the streets full of water. The sudden deluge of rain flooded the streets within minutes. Synonyms of flood, torrent, inundation, I have just written. Drought, trickle, scarcity, dry spell, we have got so many times. But based on the word torrent, I would like to give a few idioms. First one: imagine it is raining heavily. Heavy rain. Then we say to rain. What is the idiom here? To rain one, cats and dogs. It is raining cats and dogs means raining heavily. Many candidates know this, but there's one more expression: to rain in torrents. We also use the expression torrential rains. Very good, Shreya and who is this? Shushma. Rain, cats, and dogs. They have given many a time, but there's one more you have to know and you have to remember. A rain in torrents. It has been raining in torrents. So meaning is the same. And you have to know the expression torrential rains means heavy rains. You can use that also. Very good, Pravalika. Look at the example. Next one is quiescent. Quiescent, part of speech adjective, in a state of inactivity or dormancy. Dormant, dormancy, important word forms. Dormant means no activity as such. Actually, it goes with biological activities. Sometimes we use with economy. Dormant economy means no growth, no development. And you have to recollect the foreign expression for that: no change at all. What do we say? Status quo means no change whatsoever. Same situation. Dormant, quiet and still. Look at the example. The volcano has been quiescent for decades, showing no signs of eruption. Whenever we talk about volcanoes, we talk about the expression volcanic eruption. And for that, we have to use a phrasal verb break out. Break out means to start suddenly. Break out goes with fire, war, flashes, diseases, and this one, volcanic eruptions. Synonyms: inactive, dormant, inert. Inert is also an important word, though it goes with physics. And antonyms: active, dynamic, lively. Vivacious also you can think. Conundrum, an important word they have given in exams many a time. And if you read the deadlock also you can say, Mahesh, very good. Good morning, good morning. Rather late, but no issues. Coming to the word conundrum, if you read the newspapers, especially the Hindu, it has been, you come across quite often. What exactly does it mean? Part of speech noun, a confusing and difficult problem or question. Something that is difficult to handle, you have to say conundrum. The scientist faced a conundrum when the results of the experiment were inconclusive. No result, obviously. Dilemma also, you can say. Very good. I appreciate that. Sampath Mullah. And Shubham, after a long time, I suppose. Good, I appreciate your contribution. Synonyms puzzle, a riddle, enigma. We have got these words many a time. Puzzle, common word. A riddle. Kids, they know. They use a riddle, puzzle, enigma. Enigmatic means mysterious. Bewilder means to get confused. Perplexed, bewildered, confused, different group altogether. Solution, clarity, answer, simple word. Undulating. Undulating means a wavy, baffled means surprised. That has a different connotation. Good, you guys are responding so well. Keep it up. And undulating motion means undulating movement, means a wavy, up and down, up and down. Part of speech adjective, having a smoothly rising and falling form or outline, moving in waves. If you take a particular animal, eel, have you heard of this? Eel moves in and that motion is undulating. You can, it goes with topography. Very good, Mahesh. I think we have that. Example, the undulating hills, obviously topography, of the countryside were a beautiful sight to behold. Important word, behold. So here the wavy outline of the hills or mountain region, you can use that word. But it also goes with movement. If you take the animal eel, its movement is quite nice to watch because of the wavy motion. Good morning. How come so late? So many of you. And behold, I usually tell students when it comes to beauty, there's a saying. What is that saying? Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Means, for me, someone may look beautiful. For others, she may not look beautiful. So, based on that, what is a popular saying? Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. It is individual, it is personal, no one can question. A rolling, a wavy, fluctuating, flat, level, even. Antonyms, easy words. The last word, though we have got many a time, intentionally, deliberately have brought the word because we do have some new students every time. They have to know this word. Today, another 2 or 3 decades, people will definitely talk about sustainable, the word sustainable practices, sustainable goals, because against the backdrop of environmental problems. So, part of speech adjective, what does it mean? Able to be maintained or continued over the long term without harming the environment or without depleting resources. Sustainable means to use the resources in a wise manner in such a way that future generations they can also use the resources. Sustainable practices. Look at the example. The company adopted sustainable practices to reduce its environmental impact. That's a good thing. All companies have to do that. There's no choice. It is like Hobson's choice. To survive, one has to practice sustainable goals. Viable, renewable, eco-friendly. More than viable, these are better words. Eco-friendly and also renewable. Antonyms, unsustainable, short-term, wasteful. Those are the words. Now let us go to depleting means reducing, going down in number, quality. Usually it goes with numbers, depleting standards, depleting quality. Means going down. Initially good, slowly it goes down, depletion of something, decreasing. What is when you ask the question, what is this editorial about? What is the answer you're going to get? The editorial discusses the environmental and safety challenges associated with hydropower projects, particularly in the context of recent landslides in Sikkim. The backdrop is a landslide in Sikkim relate based on hydropower projects, and two dimensions are there. One is environment based on related to landslide. The other one is hydropower project. What is the tone based on? Because it deals with hydropower projects, a word of caution from the editorial taken by the stand taken by the editorial based on that cautionary, and because it deals with loss of life, loss of property, potential. It has to be critical, important, vital, crucial. So, two important words have been used. Let's see how it starts. Stimulus. Stimulus means the source for taking action. The source for taking action. Imagine something happened that is a source for the newspaper to write an article or to write an editorial, and that is known as a stimulus. We can also use the word trigger. What is a trigger? What is stimulus is a better word. Power play. Now, when you look at this expression power play, you think of cricket matches. I think first 5 or 6 overs power play that has become so popular. But here it deals with hydropower projects based on that power play on hydropower projects and the environment. But what is the main idea? Hydropower projects must already have told many a time. It has two functions. One, it is used to express a personal obligation. In this context, obligation imposed by the editorial or the writer of the newspaper. Second one, to convey the idea something is compulsory. And there's one important expression here. Must factor in. Factor in means consider. What does it say? Hydropower projects must factor in the environmental costs too. They have to consider environmental costs and in the sense the impact on the environment. Without considering the environment, or if you ignore the impact on the environment, the result is going to be disastrous. That is quite obvious. We have been witnessing. Let us see how it starts. While Wayanad in Kerala limps back to normal life, as I said, we use limp back. There are expressions like to normal life, limp back to normalcy. You have to know the combinations as well. While Wayanad in Kerala limps back to normal life after the devastating landslide last month, we all know. A landslide on Tuesday, August 20th, 2024, in Sikkim caused damage to 6 houses and a building of the National Hydroelectric Power Corporation (NHPC) at its Teesta 5 hydropower station in Gangtok, Sikkim. So this talks about before now what is the time, what is happening in Kerala. Slowly Wayanad is limping back to normalcy. At this juncture, something of a similar thing happened in Sikkim, Gangtok. What exactly happened? It is related to a landslide, devastating landslide. But fortunately, this lands that was in Kerala devastating, but this one fortunately it did not no loss of life, no injuries, and impact only minimal. Caused damage to just 6 houses and a building of the NHPC at its Teesta 5 hydropower station in Gangtok. Writer, he or she, we don't know, himself or herself, says they cannot be compared. Wayanad incident, hundreds died, loss of property, villages got washed out. Here, only 6 houses and one building. We cannot compare. There is no comparison of the impact of the event on both in both places, as there was no loss of lives or injuries reported in Sikkim. We cannot compare. Then why should he write about this? Then why should we write? Why should we bring it into focus? However, when the writer wants to introduce a contrasting idea, uses a word like however in written English. It's a link word. However, the cause for concern is that though the damage has been minimal, there's a cause for concern. What is that cause for concern? The cause for concern is that this is the second natural disaster led assault. This is not for the first time, this is the second one. Similar incident happened last year also over there in Sikkim. This is a second natural disaster led assault, not man made assault, natural disaster led assault on a hydropower project along the Teesta. A deluge from the south, and it talks about the previous one because this is the second one. The first one, a deluge, means inundation or floods. A deluge from the South Lona Glacier in North Sikkim last October washed away the Chunthang Dam that was critical to the Teesta 3 power station, which is not operated by the NHPC. Last time a particular glacier washed out what? The dam, Chungthang Dam, that was critical, means important to the Teesta 3 power station. The Teesta 3 1200 megawatt power project was the largest hydroelectric power project in the state until it was effectively grounded after the outburst. Before that incident, it was the largest, but because of that outbreak, it was grounded. Only a tenth of the power originally being supplied by the project is now available. What is the negative impact? Only one tenth is available right now. The Teesta 5 project at 510 megawatt has also been made, which tense is at present perfect passive voice. Non-functional since the glacial lake outburst. Non-functional, not able to function. Coming to the second part of the editorial, the disaster shines a new light. Here, generally, we don't use this word, we use a word, throw, because it is in present, throws. The disaster throws a new light on an old but never quiescent conundrum posed by hydropower projects. Not able to make out because of the glare. What does it say? It talks about these incidents last year and recent one. They throw light. Throw light means create awareness, make someone notice something. The disaster shines or throws a new light on an old but never quiescent conundrum, means a difficult problem to deal with, posed by hydropower projects. Hydropower projects, last year also I did a few editorials. Foothills of Himalayas, if you take, we have states like a very difficult problem to deal with. I have already said all the meanings of the words. You should join the session beginning from the beginning. Then initially I give the meanings of the words. Then after that you may not get the doubts and you'll be able to follow without any problem. Coming to, I was talking about something. Foothills of Himalayas, states like Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, and Sikkim, all these at the foothills of Himalayas, they have been facing problems because of hydropower projects. And we have done a lot of editorials. It talks about the same thing, a conundrum posed by hydropower projects. From initial proposals nearly 3 decades ago to have 47 power projects along the run of the Teesta in Sikkim and West Bengal, only 5 projects exist. Out of 47, 5 projects exist, and about 16 are in various stages of consideration, means not completed. Out of 47, 5 completed in existence, and about 16 in the process of being developed. Now, the editorial talks about the river and the course of the river. Course means where it starts, how it travels, where it ends. A tributary of the Brahmaputra. The Teesta River originates from the Lamo Lake at an elevation of about 5,280 meters in North Sikkim. This is the origin. The river travels the course of action. The river travels for about 150 kilometers in Sikkim and 123 kilometers in West Bengal before entering Bangladesh from Mekliganj in Cooch Behar district. It flows another 140 kilometers in Bangladesh and joins the Bay of Bengal. The sentence talks about the course of the river. In theory, the river's course to undulating terrain. Terrain means the land with the physical features. Undulating terrain is what tempts governments. Because of its course, the governments are getting tempted because they can tap and they can construct the power projects and they can tap energy. Governments tempting terrain is what tempts governments to extract as much benefit as possible for power projects. That is the idea behind. Through the decades, several companies have bid for projects auctioned out by state governments, but the process has rarely been without complication. State governments have been auctioning and many companies have bidding also done, but not a simple process. Some complications are there. Some issues are there. What are those issues? It has been a complicated exercise in balancing the environmental risks, costs of properly ensuring for those risks, public perception, and aiming for profit. There are three things, and the bottom line profits. What are the three things they have to focus on? Rather complicated things. One is balancing the environmental risks, second, costs of properly insuring for those risks, and third one, dealing with public perception. And the fourth one, obviously, any business venture, what is the motive? What is the bottom line? Make profits. In the case of Teesta 3 project, reports have emerged that the developers, in order to save on costs, built a concrete faced rock filled dam as opposed to a concrete gravity dam. Why did it happen, this negative thing? The developers, they wanted to cut down the cost cutting measure. They constructed one type of dam instead of another type of dam. What is that they have chosen to cut down the costs? They have chosen concrete faced rock filled dam as opposed to a concrete gravity dam. One reason why it was completely washed away. Because of this cost cutting, the dam itself got washed away. Environmental impact assessment of hydropower projects in the region must give a clear estimate of the actual costs involved. Today, any project, we have to get the permission, environmental assessment, impact assessment, very important. So, what it says, these organizations should give a clear estimate of the actual costs involved, all those things. This will not only bolster public faith in these projects, but also be environmentally sustainable. If they give proper report, that will instill confidence in the minds of the public. Public will believe, and also the projects will be environmentally sustainable. That is the actual thing we have to focus on. That's all about the editorial. I would like to reiterate an important editorial. You may get something like this in the exam as a passage, either prelims or mains. And whenever you come across a topic that deals with an editorial that deals with environment, do remember you have to read twice, thrice, and develop contextual awareness, lexical terms, word combinations, the idioms, the phrases. All these you have to have at your fingertips. That will help in the long run. The first question: what was the main cause for the deluge that affected the Teesta 3 power project in October 2023? It is not earthquake, it is not cyclone, it is glacial lake outburst. It is not landslide. No, answer is a C. Glacial lake outburst. Which of the following rivers is a tributary of the Brahmaputra and the focus of several hydropower projects? Easy to answer. It is not Ganga, it is not Yamuna, it is not Brahmaputra. It is, this river is a tributary of, yes. Why again conundrum so many times? I've already given the meaning. What is one reason suggested in the editorial for the complete washout of Chungthang Dam at the Teesta power station? What is the one reason? One reason: poor maintenance, no. Use of inferior materials, no. Clearly mentioned construction of a concrete faced rock filled dam instead of a concrete gravity dam. They should have gone in for concrete gravity dam, but for keeping costs in the mind, cost cutting, they went in for this, which resulted in the negative impact. C is the answer. How many hydropower projects along the Teesta are currently in various stages of consideration as per the editorial? Editorial says actual proposal 47, completed 5, but in the process 16. Based on that, what is the answer? It is not 5, it is not 10, it is not 47 actual proposal, 5 completed in existence, 10 not relevant, but at various stages, 16. What is suggested as necessary for hydropower projects to ensure public faith and environmental sustainability? The last sentence of the editorial talks about this. What is required to instill public faith and also to make the project environmentally sustainable? Lowering costs, no. Public perception management, no. Detailed environmental impact assessments. Detailed environmental impact assessments required. And these assessments will instill public faith and also the project will become environmentally sustainable. I have brought 5 idioms, try to answer all the 5 important idioms. It is not Achilles. How do you pronounce this? Achilles. Achilles heel. They have given so many times. Imagine there's a person who is very strong in all aspects except one. That is his weak point. And that weakness may bring him down. That weak point is known as Achilles heel. Achilles heel, weak or vulnerable spot in one's nature or character. D. Black leg. When everyone is on strike, someone goes and works. That person is called black leg. One who continues to work when others are on strike. Cut the Gordian knot. Deal with something difficult. Solve a very difficult problem by quick, bold, and drastic action. E. Do away with, get rid of, or dispense with. But do remember, many students think get rid of double F. No, it is only one single F. And eye opener, something which makes one understand a situation or truth clearly. So, what is the correct order? D, C, E, B, A. If you have got all the 5, highly appreciable. Anand, good, very good. Error location, lack of time, I could not divide the sentence. Read the sentence and try to spot the error. The Assam keelback snake has been sighted by a team from the Wildlife Institute of India, Dehradun, for the first time from 1869. Ah, very good. Who is this Magnus? Within no time. Here has been a particular snake has been sighted. That is in present perfect passive voice. Whenever you come across present perfect or present perfect continuous, you have to think of 2 prepositions. One since, the other for. Here we cannot use from. It has to be since 1869. Very good. I appreciate you guys. He adds that the spectral differences between healthy vegetation and burnt forest areas can easily identified and highlighted by remote sensing burn indices. Here the context talks about we can identify something, active voice, something can be identified by us, passive voice. Here idea should be in passive voice based on that. Can easily be identified. Can be identified. That is no. Can easily be identified. Be is missing. Then can be identified, it is in passive voice. It has to be in passive voice. Her journey saw the Genesis. Genesis is an important word, means the beginning. Very good. That's a word that goes with effective English. You have to remember. Ah, be plus past participle. Very good, Magnus. I'm glad you have used the past participle, not the regular term. Her journey saw the genesis of a silent yet robust modernist potter who was in home in the contemporary world and comfortable in her own skin, sharing secrets as she went along. This is not that easy under pressure, but if you're really good at English, you can spot the error within no time. When someone comes, we say, or someone talking to someone not comfortable, we say, feel at home. Feel at home, be at home means what does it mean? Comfortable. She was comfortable with the contemporary world. Feel comfortable. Wonderful, Magnus and Sampath, Anand. Good, really good. I appreciate you guys. We have fillers. Besides, urban areas have the for neglecting public health actions. The moment you see neglecting public health actions, it's a negative context. When someone neglects something, that person or that organization will have a positive image or a negative image. Respect or no respect? Obviously, no respect. Based on that, besides, urban areas have the disrepute for neglecting public health actions. Repute means name, reputation, disrepute. You cannot say notorious. The word form is not correct. Why will they be popular for neglecting public health? You cannot use that word at all. The next one, urban areas in India are particularly to bear the brunt of something, an important idiom means face the worst part of something, major chunk of the worst part of something you face, then you have to say bear the brunt. Of most infectious diseases that propagate in close contact settings. Urban areas in India particularly suffer, cannot be used. Vulnerable would have been correct, but here what is the right word? Are particularly prone to. The right word is prone. Yes, Shreya and Pravalika. Anand, so many with before I could turn. And Sampath also. That is the right word. The pandemic in the metros is a proxy. Proxy means not direct, indirect. Further, effects of most infectious diseases and inappropriate health system responses in urban areas. So, proxy for what? The devastating effects you can consider. Had it been deleterious, it would have been right. You cannot use the adverbial form, you have to use the adjective form. Deleterious means dangerous, harmful. Dangerous is a simple word. So, what is a better word? Devastating effects. The words we got yesterday, please have a look and try to answer, try to consolidate. And here we have regressive, going back, platitude, cliche, peddle, tell something repeatedly, but in this context, to present an idea repeatedly and annoying someone with that idea or with a product. Dictum, proclamation or order from the West Bengal government. Pegged means fixed. Abysmal, something very bad and not at all acceptable. And also gig. Gig means part time or freelancer, gig economy, important expression. And cognizance means being aware of something. Protocols, official procedures. That's all, gig worker. That is true. I've done one editorial also. You may get in the exam editorial, gig economy. Today we talk about gig economy. You may get as a passage. That's all for today. I hope you guys have got enriched. Have a nice day. After the session, we'll provide the PDF and try to access that and work on important expressions. Thank you very much.